Hello, Arkansas. Cal surprised everyone even before Christmas by admitting that he never felt Arkansas had a chance in the game against Houston. Pausa. What a strange thing. Let's get to the news. John Calipari's statement after Arkansas's loss to Houston did not go unnoticed and, in a way, resonated uncomfortably even among fans accustomed to tough and frank analysis. By admitting that, as the game progressed, he never felt the Razorbacks really had a chance to win, the coach made a statement that deviates from the traditional pattern of post-game speeches in college basketball, especially coming from someone with his history and weight within the sport. It's not common to hear a coach of this caliber publicly acknowledge a feeling of competitive impotence, especially in a high-level non-conference game. The context, however, helps to understand, though it doesn't make Calipari's assessment any less strange. The game in Newark, against an extremely solid, organized, and physical Houston team, exposed an Arkansas side that tried to respond but ended up being swallowed up mainly by the performance of the opposing guards and the difficulty in containing constant penetrations. The final score of 94-85 suggests a balanced game, but the narrative was different. The Razorbacks were down by as many as 23 points, never regained the lead after the first technical timeout, and had to expend excessive energy just to keep the game within a minimally respectable range. Even so, what stood out was the contrast between this game and the rest of the non-conference schedule. Calipari made a point of emphasizing that this was the only one of the 5 games against ranked teams where he didn't feel Arkansas was competitive until the end. Against Michigan State, Duke, Louisville, and Texas Tech, even in defeats, there was an internal feeling that the game could have changed in details. Against Houston, it didn't. And this realization, stated so directly, sounded almost like a public reality check, something unusual for a fan base still assimilating the new era under Calipari's leadership. At the same time, the statement reveals a coach who is not willing to sugarcoat the process. There's something brutally honest in the way he described the game, the feeling of doing everything right and still seeing an opponent simply break through the defense with a dribble and convert game-winning layups. For many fans, hearing that team is better than ours now was disconcerting. For others, it was a rare moment of transparency that helps calibrate expectations and understand the real stage of the project. Despite the loss, the overall outlook for Arkansas remains positive. A 9-3 record, with 2 wins and 3 losses against elite opponents, keeps the Razorbacks among the top 20 in the country and offers a solid foundation for the rest of the season. The road wins against Texas Tech and the victory over Louisville show that there is competitiveness, talent, and room for growth. Calipari himself acknowledges this, stating that the team is good but needs to play better, a demand that sounds less like criticism and more like direction. In this sense, the strangeness of the statement does not diminish its value. On the contrary, it reinforces the idea that Arkansas is being rigorously evaluated internally, without empty rhetoric or artificial consolations. The loss to Houston exposed momentary limitations, especially defensively, but also served as a clear benchmark of the level the Razorbacks need to reach to compete on equal footing with the national elite. For a team entering January with even greater challenges ahead in the SEC, this frankness may be less a sign of weakness and more an honest starting point for evolution. What did you think?